What if drumming isn't just music, but speaks the language of resilience, affirmation, and shared community? These young drummers are honoring tradition, tracing deep roots, and spotlighting the heartbeat of the African culture that pulses in our communities today. They're perpetuating the complex rhythms and stories of African drumming right here in Lexington, Kentucky, with Empower Rhythm. The journey of the African drum to the colonies is primarily the result of the transatlantic slave trade, when millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homeland and transported to the Americas through the Caribbean. Enslaved Africans brought no possessions, but carried with them the rhythm and traditions of their ancestors. They kept the rhythm alive, making their own drums, their own instruments, even playing their own bodies when they weren't allowed to use the drum. The rhythm, the drum, and the dancing affirmed their sense of being, personally, spiritually, and communally, in spite of an environment that denied their humanity.
The history of the people from Africa, as people were migrating to this part of the world, of course they brought their rhythms with them. They brought their songs and their dances with them. And it was in Congo Square because that was the one place on Sunday where people could gather.
From Congo Square in New Orleans and the low country of South Carolina to undoubtedly what was to become Lexington, Kentucky, the drum provided the underlying soundtrack and spirit to their daily survival in a difficult new world. The drum speaks today through master artist teachers like Gideon Alorwoyie, professor of percussion at North Texas University, and Paramount Chief and High Priest in Afife, a traditional area of the Volta region of Ghana, West Africa. Gideon lived in Lexington in 1994 and has been sharing his teaching across the region in schools and with the public ever since. His Kentucky protege, Tripp Bratton, is now a master artist teacher in his own right, an adjunct professor of percussion at Berea College, and a Lifetime Achievement Award-winning percussionist who is passing this knowledge on to future generations.
Gideon, has talked about how the drums can talk and about how the rhythms mimic the voice. And that really made sense to me. It's like, okay, drumming is like speaking in rhythm.
He taught us some rhythms and then he translated them, which I thought was amazing. You take these sounds that have been played for thousands of years and you translate them. That's just so cool.
So the language has two words.
Speaking, the rhythm of speaking comes so naturally to people because it's kind of ingrained into your nervous system, and your mouth can do so many amazing things because you learn it without thinking about the technique involved. You just imitate. So if you have like, get on the bus, gonna get on the bus, gonna get up on the bus. You have these like phrases that you can teach that these kids can repeat that, and it makes sense to them. And they play rhythms that are pretty sophisticated and very syncopated rhythms that if they can have a phrase in their head to do it, they can play these pretty complex rhythms.
Like, there's different levels of complexity, obviously, but the thing is humans pick up on rhythm before we pick up on anything, but people just need like ways to break down that rhythm. So I like trying to like get it down to the simplest foundation that I can, and that's the thing, like just finding ways to like teach somebody something that they can already do. Let's just like making it accessible to them.
Whenever Gideon comes, I'm always super excited, and so I was pleasantly surprised and also yet unsurprised by the response of the larger student body.
Rhythms programming integrates African drumming into educational and community settings. The workshops and performances are inclusive and participatory, bringing people together regardless of their skill level or background. Students can progress from novice to become all-stars and mentors. Working together, they rise to assume leadership positions, passing this ancient practice forward.
You know, those drums are made out of trees, and it's like a tree with no roots, really, but yet the roots are more like figurative because the drum and the music is so old. It reaches back like in time, and it reaches back across oceans and connects him. You know, when his hands, it's like a circuit, you know, like then all of that beautiful ancestral and cultural energy can like run through him, and it shows.
That pathway of knowledge is an ancient thing that predates anything that we in the West can really even comprehend. And that has gone from Gideon's teachers down to Gideon, down to Tripp, down to me, down to my high schoolers, down to my middle schoolers, to my elementary, even my own children at home know a little bit of this stuff. This is a, who knows, 1,000-year lineage.
All these drummers, all these young youth drummers have to have a unity for themselves. One, they have to know that all of them have different minds of studying. But again, they can work together and see who is slowing down a little bit, and then they can catch up. So they can do it as a teamwork. In that way, it builds you up earlier.
You get lifted by the power of collaboration and the power of collective intent. So you can really feel that energy building, and each person contributing to that. You know, it's like building a fire. It just, you know, it just makes everything just start to cook, you know.
It's cohesive. Like the other day, they all were in rhythm and in step together. And it's pretty amazing to see that that's possible at that age group. Like they were in sync. It seems like that would take years of practice, but they've been together for this group some months, you know. And here and there, you know, during the, you know, one day during the week, one day on the weekend, it's pretty impressive that they can get to that point with such confidence.
Somebody has to start from somewhere. It is like how the empire is taken up to share this very important loss of the culture, the integrity of all our ancestral duties of maintaining all these languages, sharing of all these expectations to people. So it's the work of the empire now to be able to let Lexington know. It's like a Sankofa. Go back and take what belongs to you. We can do that.
Like the mythical Sankofa bird, deeply rooted in the wisdom of the Akan people of Ghana, we are reaching back, understanding the past to move forward. From those who came before, through Gideon to his students, and Empower Rhythm today, the drum and the dance help us connect with our ancestors and with each other. We are one people with a rich and complex heritage. Let us use the power of the drum to create environments of peace, respect, and freedom to empower youth, honor culture, and build community for generations to come.